Hi guys, in this video I would like to show you how Grease Pencil can be used to quickly set up effects in a 2D, 3D way. And in this particular case I will be showing the effect on the snail being splat here. So let me take a look. So it's going on right here. It's the first shot of the movie, and after Elias left the scene, the snail will be will be smashed, whatever, by Rex. So let's take a look at that. Cool. So that idea of the snail being splat, that is very quickly to set up with the Grease Pencil tool, and this way you get a very directed way of visualizing the effect for the director without having to endlessly simulate things or sculpt it or whatever technique. And I'll go over the process of like getting this done with the Grease Pencil, and as you can see I also added some temporary geometry kind of to visualize the broken, shattered pieces of the shell. That's kind of an arbitrary way of doing that, but at least at this point the effects team already has some handles to work from. So this has been shown to the director and he loves it, and this might be going straight into a mesh converter, but we're still figuring out on how to tackle it from here, but at least we have a clear understanding of what needs to be done. So I wanted to show you guys how I did that because I think the Grease Pencil tool is not only a great 2D animation tool, it is also a great way to quickly try something out that is very hard to either rig or model or simulate. So this way you can, with some 2D animation skills, you can actually hand off something with a jump start for the effects team. So let's jump into the file. So currently I don't have any splash or like any effects going on. What basically happens, as you can see, like the snail is down here. It's just being put out of screen, out of sight, and we kind of draw on top of this thing. So what I want you to know is that I already did it. So I wasn't recording while doing, because I was still trying things out here, but I think I'm in a good spot to show you how I did it. So let me turn on the effects here and you can see like what's going on. So he splats, there's some spatters, like some parts getting out of the way, and then we kind of drew these frames when Rex is getting out, get his feet up again. So let's see how to get that started. So first off, what is very important is that you make sure to draw on the spot that you want this to be, which is right around here. So especially in Z space. So that's where we put our 3D cursor. Let me actually turn on. So right there, I just do shift middle click or shift right click, I believe, to put it right there. So whenever I draw from the camera perspective, it will be drawn on that axis. So now it's right there. And I, in this folder, I create a new Grease Pencil object, which is a stroke. So if I do that, you will see that the stroke is actually point it right there. We don't need this stroke, we can remove it, but at least we have already some materials that come with it, and we're good to go. So we basically can delete this keyframe right here, delete, and now what I like to do is to pick kind of the golden pose of the splat where I want us to work from. This is a personal preference. You could start in straight ahead, you know, start here, start drawing some small smudges and get that going. But I like to have our golden pose, which is right around here where the slimy stuff is being in its full stretch before it's kind of ripped apart. Let me also turn off my gizmo here. I want to go into draw mode, and by default I think it will be set to pencil, but I would like to work in ink pen, so everything that I draw is being not transparent at all. So let's test that out. And also it is important to set the drawing plane to view and the 3D cursor as the placement. Now I want to pick an arbitrary, I'll go for white, just so I can clearly see what's going on. Actually, let's do something more, because these colors are you know, you can change them later on. And let's change the width a little bit more. Now it's basically sketching. You're trying to get the idea across, so I don't bother too much about the placement. But right here, this is where the hubs should be, and then get something like that going on, and something like that, like this. A little bit smaller still. There. So I'm just, you know, figuring out where I want these gaps to be happening. Something like that. It's already, and then I'm filling this up. Okay, and now I go to the next frame, and as you can see, I drew it on, this is on 2s, and I drew it on the second frame, so I want to shift this one frame back. Ooh. Right there. So it's right happening where the splat on the moving frame here. So on this frame, we want to keep on that same, like there. I want to turn on ghosting for this so I can see the previous frame. So it's on right here. I think there's some settings here that I need to turn on, and then yeah, I know I need to have the bones and everything turned on as well to see the ghosting, as you can see. So I manually need to turn off these things. So like that. So at least now I see like where the mass is coming from. It's coming from around here, I think. On this line, I want to redo that. Somewhere around there. And then there's this big gap here. Actually, I do want this to be a bit wider. I'm not too, you know, too detailed right now, because So this gap is getting bigger. This one too, something like that. And now let's when I go through it, you feel already that stretch a little bit going on. So there's a stretch, and on the next frame I really want to make it shoot loose on the front part. So this is still being drawn. Ooh, it's a little too big here, but around there. And then this part is going to be shot loose. Well, this part is still being attached, and we want that. We want it to be a straight line. Whenever there's tension, you want to make sure that it's really straight. And it's gonna be tricky. Somewhere, something around there. So this part, I still want to be holding on here. And then here, all of this is going to be loosened. So that means, and we can be a little bit, arbitrary with it. This will be loosened. There's no tension anymore. So now this part is being on the shoe. This part is still being attached, as you can see. So now it's like splat. You see there, and then that lower part is still, and then there might be some parts that are actually shooting loose in between. So there's this big blob right there. But on the next frame, the shoe is almost out, so there you still see this blob being on the shoe right here, and then this blob will be going in an arc down. It's going to be pulled by gravity, and then this part is actually being it's a little you need to look at fluids and I don't know, slimy stuff to see really what's going on. I'm eyeballing stuff right here. You can definitely be a little bit more accurate with these kind of things. So this part will be shut off too, like that, and then this part is still be kind of going back, being attracted to the shoe, as goo is always kind of pulling back to its original form somewhat. And then there's this line that's being cut off again as well, so there will be something like that. And then this part is still being recovered on this next frame. This part might be coming loose as well. It's a little arbitrary. So now it's like, you see what's going on, like splat. Now it's time to work backwards, and where you can already see that frame right here, it will be a little bit wider, a little bit less tension, and eventually you might fill this in yourself a little bit more. So that's where the snail's coming from. Splat. I won't be animating this fully because I already did it, but that's how you can easily start, adding in some 2D effects to get the idea across to the director without having to simulate stuff. And this is a cool way to enhance, if it fits your style, of course, to direct what the effect should be doing. That's how I set up this this GUI effect. And I hope you find this helpful, and I hope I showed you that Grease Pencil can be an enhancement to your existing 3D animation and be part of the production pipeline. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.